I can appreciate the importance of being prepared for anything. You know, recently the Deputy Prime Minister was saying about how we should be prepared. You know, we do have flood situations, we do have situations happen here now. And so, is it a good idea to have some level of preparedness? Probably. We've had a lot more women come onto bushcraft courses in the last few years. Some of it is, I think, that it's becoming more open and people know that there are likely to be other women on these courses now, and so they don't feel intimidated to go, oh, I'm going into a man's world, when it's not anymore. And I think COVID was a bit of a wake-up where people were like, oh, things might not always stay on the supermarket shelves. That was the big thing. It was toilet rolls on the supermarket shelves were gone. And just that whole thing, I think, has changed a lot of people's perspectives.
The skills of those.
So I have taught my children some bushcraft skills, but they also learn from lots of other people. They're very passionate about it themselves. My younger daughter's very interested in plants and animals and does some foraging under supervision. Other parents have commented on what we do, mostly because when my daughter does forest school, at school, the parents come up and say, oh, we've heard your child could do this or knew about that and has shown my child that. And so there's been a lot of enthusiasm and support for that. With the cost of living, I think that bushcraft skills really come into their own. There's lots of practical skills with them making things. You know, I've made baskets over the last few years. I can make my own bags, I do leather work. All of those things means that I can make myself quality items that are exactly what I want, they're bespoke. But also when it comes to, you know, we forage for stinger nettles. You know, I got low in iron and so they're very, very high in iron. It meant I could supplement my diet with natural wild foods that's safe. Of course, I always need to know the law around where I'm collecting and picking and doing that. So anybody who's going into that needs to research it and have 100% ID. One of the things is that when you learn any form of practical skill, especially when there's quite a lot of detail in it to be successful, it means it gives you a level of self-confidence which transfers over to other areas of life. Yeah, I mean, all that's going on in the world at the moment, it doesn't really bother us in the same way. Of course we think about it, everybody does. But there's still a resilience there that you just feel okay, and especially when you're in the woods. It's the same as it was 2 years ago, it's the same as it was 5 years ago, it's still the woods. And yes, there are differences when there's been some issues with certain species of trees, but you also see growth and you see regeneration. That's something you don't get when you're just stuck in four walls.